Hey guys, welcome to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing my IPSY review products for June 2020. If you are unfamiliar, I like to do a separate review video for my IPSY products that were in my Glambag and Glambag Plus because I know not everyone necessarily cares about the review, so I just do it as a nice little separate video. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to go over all of the items I use. Now I will say I did receive a hand cream in my regular IPSY Glambag. I haven't used that, so I don't have a review for that, but I do have an add-on that I did that I am also going to review, so I'll still have the same amount of items. I'm just not going to have that particular item. Let's get into the review. I think I'm going to do my plus items first, and then we'll go ahead into the regular Glambag items. First up, we have the Jade Causemetics sheet masks. Now I used one of each, so I got 6 of these originally. If you watched the unboxing for that, I got originally 2 of each kind of sheet mask, so I tried out one of each and I wrote down my thoughts. So the Shishio one is supposed to reduce redness. I actually think that this worked pretty well when I used it. I definitely felt like it was soothing to my skin, and I definitely felt like my skin didn't look quite as red after I took it off. So I will say I did particularly really like that one. The other 2 I think were fine. The Sea Berry one that is brightening, I guess it brightened my face. I don't really know. I can never tell when they say it's brightening. I've only had a handful of masks I've tried that are brightening, and I'm like, oh yeah, they are brightening. I couldn't really tell with this one, so maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I mean, it felt nice. And then this one was the avocado one, which is moisturizing. It was very moisturizing when I used it, so I don't really have an issue with this one. I think it worked pretty well. I am happy that they're a Korean brand, and I did enjoy using them. I can't complain. I'll use the other 3 soon. Okay, next from my plus, we have the Good in Doc Acne Blemish Spot Treatment. I think this works. I'm not 100% sure, honestly. I think it works though. It's hard to tell. It's very thick and very creamy when you put it on. I actually put it on after my moisturizer because it's so thick. I will say I definitely noticed that I have a reduction in any acne I might have after I put this on, probably like 2 days later, I'd say. I think it's okay. It's really hard for me to 100% tell. I use it whenever I have the acne, and I will say it goes away pretty quickly. It is also very cooling when you put it on, I noticed. Next up, we have the Ciate London Marbled Metals eyeshadow. I've only used this twice, to be completely honest, but I mean, I like it. I think it pairs really well with a smoky eye, but you have to really build this up. There it is. You can see that I've used it a few times. I use my finger to apply it. I wouldn't recommend using a brush. It gets kind of messy if you try to use a brush. I would just use your finger and apply it that way. It's very pigmented. It's kind of duochrome-like. Not something I'm grabbing for all the time right now, which is the only reason I've only tried it a couple times, but when I use it, I like it. Okay, next I have the Thrive Causemetics Lip Topper in the shade Effie. So I'm not gonna do too much of an in-depth review on this because this is in my Thrive Causemetics review video, which is either going to go up right after this or right before this video. So if it's already up, you will see a card up here. If it is not up, then make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. I will say that I do like it. It's a nice lip topper. The only thing is that it's very sheer because it's a lip topper. So I would say that I almost wish that it wasn't as sheer because I like the color, but that's really the only complaint I have. And since it's a topper, it is going to be sheer. And finally, I have the Flesh Highlighter in the shade Jump. I have this on my face today, so it's just a nice champagne-y gold highlight. Nothing super exciting. It's not the most blinding highlight. I actually have it layered on top of a different highlight. You can see it, and it's not bad, but it's just not my favorite highlighter I own. I think it's decent, and I think that it's nice how big it is because it's gonna last a while, but it's just not my favorite highlighter. Also, I really hate the packaging. Other than the name Flesh, which I hate, the packaging I just feel like is so cheap and plasticky. I don't understand how this is supposedly worth $28. I feel like it should be in something metal at least. I don't know, maybe it's just me being picky, but it feels cheap. All right, let's get into the regular Glambag items. So first up, we have the Vet Daily Squeeze Sheet Mask. So I used the other one of these. I didn't like it because I put it on my face not as long as I was supposed to because it started burning my face when I put it on, which was very concerning for obvious reasons. I only put it on for a couple minutes before I took it off because I was like, well, maybe it'll go away, and then it didn't. I haven't used this one yet. I don't know if I'm going to use this one because I'm kind of afraid to. Maybe this this one will be fine, but I'm a little concerned after that. Next up, we have the Innomo Velveteen Cream Shadow in the shade Queen Bee. And I actually have this on my eyes today. I paired it with the e.l.f. Hot Jalapeno palette. So that's what's on. And then I put this in the center right there, if you can see it. Mind this, but I don't love it. It's okay. This is a good shadow if you want to use it almost like a topper, which is what I did. I wouldn't recommend using this by itself for the most part. It's not super pigmented, and even when I go in with my finger and try to build it up, it doesn't build up a lot. So it's not super pigmented. I don't think I would use this on its own. It's just not my favorite thing. I haven't been grabbing for it a ton. Like I said, I'm just using it as a topper if I want some type of gold topper. Next up, we have the Sugar Cosmetics Matte as Hell Lip Crayon in the shade Stephanie Plum. So I have this on my lips today. But I actually really like this crayon. It's very smooth. It glides on really nicely. It's super pigmented. I really like the color because I love berry colors, and I did pick this item. It's a really nice lip crayon, and it stays really well. Now, it does have some transfer, of course, but that's to be expected with an item like that, so I'm not mad about it. I do really like it, and I don't find it to be super drying either, which is nice. Sometimes matte crayons or matte lipsticks can be really drying. I think it feels perfectly fine if you just decided to just wear this lip crayon by itself. Editing Emily here, I totally forgot to mention the 24-hour brow setter in my review, so I just wanted to really quickly tell you about it. So I noticed it because I found the product, of course, after I filmed, and it had rolled away. That's fun. But it's in my brows today. It holds my brows in really well. It doesn't make them feel too like crispy or crunchy, but it just holds my brow hairs in place really nicely. And it lasts all day. I don't have any issues with it wearing off at all. It's a really nice brow gel, and let me show you the wand real quick. Okay, so a really nice thing about this wand is that the one side is thicker and the other side is thinner. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm so sorry, this is not the best, but I like using the thicker part on the inner portion of my brow hairs and the thinner part on the outer portion of my brow hairs. Holds it in place really well. That's it, so back to the rest of your video. Next up are actually two add-ons because, like I said before, I didn't get to everything. So this I have on my lips today as well. This is a Ciate London Watermelon Hydrating Lip Oil. I really like this. First of all, unlike the lip gloss from e.l.f., it smells really good, and it smells like a watermelon Jolly Rancher. There's no other way to describe it. It is very hydrating. I will say it is definitely a thicker lip oil. The Yensa lip oil I have, which is my favorite lip oil that I've ever tried, that one is a little bit more thinner in its consistency and not sticky at all. Now this one still isn't sticky at all. It's not tacky. It's just a little bit thicker than I was expecting it to be. It feels more like a gloss, but it's not at all tacky or sticky. I do really like this lip oil, and I'm very happy to have it. And then finally we have the Pacifica Cherry Gold Blush and Highlighter Duo. So I have both of this on my face today. So the blush is just a matte cool toned blush. It is kind of light. It's hard to see in the camera. You can see it more in person. When I sit back, you can see it a little bit more because I put it like here, where you see a little bit of like the sun-kissed redness look, but it is more of a cool toned blush, and I do really like it. I don't have another blush that's quite like this. I have a lot of blushes, but most of them are the same type of blush, so this one's a little bit different for me, so I'm really happy to have this. The highlight is okay. If you're someone who likes a really subtle highlight, I think this is great, and I don't even think it's because, like, obviously this is darker. I have a Laura Geller highlight that is a dark gold color, and I can make that work for me, so I definitely think I should be able to make this work for me, and I do. Like I said, I paired it with the Flesh highlight, and I got that to work for me well, because when you have two of those highlights on, they build up a little bit more, and then they get to a place where I really enjoy the highlight. By itself, I'm just not a fan of the highlight. I wouldn't just bring this because I would need a different highlighter to go with it. It's not bad, it's just not my favorite. I want it to be more blinding. Alright guys, so that is all for today. Let me know down in the comments below if you get IPSY and what you thought of your items last month or this month. If you looked at the spoilers, my Glambag should be here, I think, Wednesday, which is in 2 days from when I'm filming this. So hopefully that actually happens. I don't know when my plus is coming. Those videos should be coming up soon. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below what you guys liked. If you got any of these items, what you thought of them. If you got one of the Flush highlighters, I'm curious to know what you thought lot of them because I don't see how that's worth $28 in my personal opinion. Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget before you leave to like this video, give it a thumbs up, and click the subscribe button if you are into beauty related content. That is all for today, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a good one.